You're on.
By no means is this over with Hillary Clinton. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot more work to be done. The fact that there's riots in California and Oregon, the media is stirring up these things because they want to try to protect Hillary until the next 4 years so she can run again. They'll figure out a way that they can sleaze this woman in there. You know what I mean? And we can't stop fighting until she is behind bars. We cannot stop fighting until she is behind bars. I don't know what that's going to be. You just get on the road and start walking, and as a soldier, man, you got to fight the enemy as he pops up. But absolutely, this is not over. Now, just like David slew Goliath, David was just a little guy, like we're little guys. You know, David slew Goliath, and I have absolutely no doubt that Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other such social medias is what took Hillary down, a big part of it. And men like Alex Jones, creator of WikiLeaks, those men and men like that are the ones that is leading. They're the generals of this army that we have developed, and we can't just go to sleep on this, because if we do, the media is going to protect Hillary until this they're going to shield her for 4 years, trying to keep her to hold back signing that confession and giving evidence, giving state evidence, well, giving national evidence in this case, against all those criminals that have put her in the place that she is in. So this is not over. But just like David slew Goliath, okay, and all the enemies saw that their hero was dead. Hillary is not officially done for. Their hero is not done for. You know where we are right now? Just as with Israel and the Philistines, they were on the valley shouting at each other. You know, Hillary walked down into the valley and she shouted, I'm making a challenge to you, just like Goliath did. I want to be your president. Goliath make a challenge. I want to fight your greatest warrior. That's what, well, the battle has begun, no doubt. David, and if you go look at the battle, there was words slung back and forth. David and Goliath slung the battle back and forth. And David declared in that battle, I'm going to feed you to the birds of the air and to the jackals of the field. And declared to him that it was God that was going to take care of him. It's just like this is God's going to take care of Hillary. But now when she was down, now listen, we're at the point where David has slung the stone. Okay, we're at the point where David has slung the stone, but it's not out until they see their hero taken completely down. It won't be over until they see their hero taken completely out. But listen to what happened here, okay? This is the battle right here. 1 Samuel. This is 1 Samuel 17. Down about verse 48, I want to start at. So you're going to be interested in this, because this is exactly what's going on in our society today, and how David killed the giant, and how the people, now the armies of Israel is the one that actually defeated this battle. They pursued after them until they were consumed. Listen to this. And it came to pass, verse 48, when the Philistines arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead and fell upon his face to the earth. We are not to that point yet in this. We are not to that point. The stone is going at him. You know what? We have officially slung the stone. And, okay, but, verse 50. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him and cut off his head. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. And the men of Israel of Judah arose. See, that's why they're not running yet. They don't see their champion as a defeated person yet. They know the media can keep her into our face until the next term. Okay, so we're going to have to keep at this and on this thing. If you go, you know what? If you go read the Bible, you'll know these things. You know the heart of your enemies a lot better if you read how you know what, the devil only has one agenda. He only has one heart. He has one personality. And it's displayed in the Bible. And you can see how these people are going to react, what they're going to do, what the media is going to do. You can see it coming. Because you know the history of the Bible. You know how the devil has worked. You know he's going to keep doing that. Because he's relentless in the evil that he does, in the same fashion and in the same way. And he knows people, he knows what works with people, and he has perfected, just like he perfected in the day of the crucifixion of Christ, to try to make it the most evil, torturous, mentally and physically thing that he could. He wanted Jesus to fail on that cross. His whole agenda for 4,000 years was to perfect torture and to make a man confess everything that his soul has done and turn from all that he was on that cross. But he failed at it, and he's going to fail at this too. Alright, and I will do some more talking about this, and listen to this, how it's written down, okay? I want you to see this one part where it says, and the armies pursued them. See, that's us. We need to pursue them, okay? And the men of Israel, in verse 52, and Judah arose and shouted, and pursued the Philistines, until they come to the valley and the gates of Ekron, and the wounded of the Philistine fell down by the way of Shaaraim, even unto Gath and to Ekron. The children of Israel returned from chasing the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents. And David took the head of the Philistines and brought it of Goliath, the Philistine, and brought it to Jerusalem. But he put his armor in his tent. Now, some important things I want you to see about this, okay? Because we must make a show of our defeat to the enemy. Listen to what I'm saying. We must make a show of our defeat to the enemy. And press it in. And press it in. The heart of those evil people in this country must be totally destroyed. The heart of the evil in this country must be totally destroyed, or this is a battle that will be never ending. It'll be never ever ending until Jesus comes. I don't know how many years that is. It could be 25, 30 years. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew. I know God is getting ready to do some things that's leading up to that. He could take me out before this video's done. I don't know, but I know that the Bible tells us to occupy till He comes. And this is a battle that we must fight in order to gain our godly status and respect back before the nations of the world. just one other point I want to show you here, then I'll be done. There was no sword in the hand of David, okay, and therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, took his sword and drew it out of the sheath and slew him and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. You see that? You see that? When they see it, we must make a public showing. I got a thing on Facebook. Let me read you some of my Facebook here. Okay. It says, my last one that I put on today, it says, Facebook friends, we cannot go to sleep on this. The fight is not over until Hillary Clinton is behind bars. And I've got a Hillary sitting in the Benghazi hearings like this. At what point is she saying, you know? And then the caption below says, if found guilty, should be publicly executed. Publicly executed. This has to be done, whatever it is that we do, has to be done before the eyes of the world. Has to be done before the eyes of the world. This thing, they have to see that their hero is dead. They got to see this. Not literally dead. I'm not saying literally shoot the woman, you know, but put behind bars for the rest of their life and made a mockery of. Even as the enemies of Samson did with him, Hillary Clinton has to be made a mockery of before the eyes of the world. This will not go away until this is done. This will not go away until this is done. Okay, please share this. Hillary Clinton was the heart of the enemy. The Goliath was taken down. You know how it says, I'm with her. It's got the insignia pointing toward her. And I've got it turned going down. And it says, the rest is up to us. In order to win, we must pursue them until they are consumed. We must pursue them until they are consumed. This is not just going to go away just because we elect. Our mistake, America, listen to me, our mistake has been putting a righteous man, whom we thought was righteous anyway, putting a righteous man in power and sitting back and just watching them beat him to death. We cannot do this anymore. We can't do this anymore. We must stand up. We must fight. We must pursue them until they are consumed. Until they are consumed. Alrighty? God bless you. Thank you for joining. We'll see you next time. Another great message right here, Crossing the Middle Ministry.